hope you're having a great weekend because it's just about to get better. And by the way, to get onto YouTube and watch this, you can get your MBs, 70 MBs, by simply dialing *544 *33 hash. The number will keep scrolling on the screen, *544 *33 hash. And you can join us in this conversation. Today, it's all about catering for you as a Kenyan and giving you an alternative way to invest your money. COVID-19 has wreaked havoc over economies around the world, and there are a lot of people, ordinary family people, wondering, what do I do? How do I move forward? Kazi imesimamishwa, but I still have children to feed. I've got a little bit that I'd like to invest. What should I do with it? Well, this is one area I want to open up for you today. So whatever happens, do not miss today's show. Call a friend. Tell them to get their bundles on *544 *33 hash and join us, because it's a conversation that could literally change your life and their life as well. Reason being, I'm sitting here with this gentleman. His name is Bob Karina. Bob Karina, if you just Google him, by the way, you'll be astonished. This gentleman is the vice chairman of the Nairobi Stock Exchange. He's also a founder of Faida Investments Bank and Faida Securities Limited. He's also the vice chairman of the Rwandese Stock Exchange. So he's been doing a lot of foundation work for Rwanda in terms of their stock exchange. And it's now, even though it's not that big, it is heading places. So Bob Karina, welcome.
Thank you, Maina.
And thank you so much for having us in your beautiful, he's got a beautiful home. It is incredible. Thank you so much, asante sana. Let's talk about COVID-19. COVID-19 has just torn life plans up.
Yes, Maina, that is true. And thank you for inviting me to your show. I feel privileged to be in your show.
Thank you.
And we like everything that you do, both on the show and also on the radio. But let's come to the COVID-19. COVID-19, the first thing I would tell our listeners is that one should not be, after this COVID-19, one should make sure that they come out differently from where they got in before. How you got in, make sure you come out differently. What I'm trying to say is that life will not be the same again in a while. To get back to the norm or the normal kind of life, the way we do business, it will take a very, very long time. So all I would say is that let us use the time we have, because most of us are operating from their homes. Let us use that time to do various things. One, use the time to read. Use the time to learn a new skill. And use the time probably to come up with a business that you would do under the circumstances. Exactly. At the same time, since many of us are in our homes, we have lost jobs. There are many people who have lost jobs.
Very many.
There are people at home, they are doing nothing, and they want to feed. So one thing they should do is to make sure that they cut on non-essential expenses. You make sure all what you are using right now during this period is only the very essential items. So things like a nice to have item, this is not the time for it. I mean, like watching movies from Netflix, Showmax, and the like. This is not the time for those kind of things. Things like you must have your hair styled in a certain way, cut off. Things like you must have your nails done and the like, cut off. So make sure what you are using during this time, because we want your shilling to run a little longer. So that it runs a longer distance. Make sure that the money you have will take you a longer period. Yes, the government had projected that this thing might be down in 3 months. Who knows? It could take a little longer.
It could be here forever. It might mean that we change the way we live our lives.
So we must make sure that the little you have takes you longer. There are people whose money was cut off, the income was cut off immediately. So what should you do? So make sure the little you have, you have it run. I would also advise people during this period of COVID to make sure that if you're living in a very expensive house, I would even tell them, why don't you move to a cheaper one? So that at least
your careers that have ended and ended for good.
Exactly.
I know a lot of my friends are musicians, and a lot of them had collected deposits for shows that were going to run until December.
Imagine.
That have now been scrapped.
Yeah.
And the people want their money back. And it's just a mess.
Yeah.
So you've got to really adjust the way.
Adjust the way you are.
Adjust now.
Adjust your expenses, adjust your spending.
Yeah.
Because if you have nothing coming in, then you have to make sure the little that you have, it can take you a little longer.
Way.
Then there are people who have issues like you have insurance of an education endowment policy maybe for your children, and right now you can't afford to pay for it, for the premiums. So I would advise such people during this period to talk to their insurance companies to help them restructure their payments.
Their payments,
yeah. So that, because if you don't do it, and let's say for instance you've been paying for those programs, if you have been paying for less than 3 years,
yeah,
and you do nothing, you lose it all.
Wow.
You lose totally what you have paid for 3 years.
Yeah.
So I would advise such kind of people who have invested in those to make sure they talk to the insurance companies, tell them, yes, you are aware, because everybody is aware. The whole world is aware about the COVID-19. Can you restructure? And they will agree to it. But if you keep quiet, they will do nothing.
Okay.
Yeah, same.
Like us who are chopped. 30%. And the first thing I did, first of all, was call my bank and tell them, okay, we need to reschedule some stuff.
Yes, yes.
Like you said, the insurance companies.
Yes.
That was one of the things I did, just so that my pain is shortened.
Exactly.
Each and every month.
Yeah.
And if there's one thing that's always been a mystery to Kenyans, it's been securities.
Yes.
It's been the stock market. People imagine that you've got to be extremely wealthy to invest there, that you've got to have tons and tons of cash, you've got to know a great brokerage who can get you the best deals. But that's not, if you're wealthy, of course you can come in there, but that's not essentially true. Can I come in, if I'm a Kenyan who's got a 20,000 shillings put aside right now, and I've lost 1/3 of my salary because of COVID-19, can I start thinking about investing that 20,000 bob or 50,000 bob in the stock exchange? What kind of returns can I get, and how do I go about it? Because Kenyans do not even know some of the most basic functions of getting to trade there.
Okay, Maina, you have asked very many questions.
Very many questions. I'm sorry.
But no, it's okay.
Yeah.
But let me answer as I remember them.
Yeah.
And if there is something you want me to continue, remind me.
Yeah.
First of all, I want to say the stock market is the easiest place to come in.
Wow.
The easiest in the sense that the minimum number of shares you can buy in the stock market is only 100. 100. So if it is 100 is the minimum you can buy, you look at the prices of the shares. And if a share is trading at a shilling, it means you only need 100 shillings.
Yeah, that's true.
You see?
That's
so with 1,000 shillings, you have more than enough. And if you come to the stock market, and we've told many people, it's not like playing casino or the bets that people make of the sports betting. Because sports betting, only a few people make money.
Yes.
The rest of the people betting lose it all.
Yeah.
They lose it day in, day out. Some have lost for as long as those things have been
around.
Yeah. But in the stock market, you will not lose money in that way. Meaning, if you're in the stock market to stay, you'll always make money. The people who lose money are the people who come in the short time and then they leave.
Yeah.
Okay, you bought a share at 10 shillings, now it is at 5 shillings, so you feel I've lost. No, but you still have the share. You are still a shareholder of, for instance, Kenya Airways or Breweries or Safaricom. Yes. You are still a shareholder.
Yes.
And you never lose until you sell.
Yes.
You see, like now what you are wearing?
Yes.
It is valuable. It's not valuable until you sell it. When you're selling is when you say, I bought it at this, now it is this much. But as long as you have it, it's still valuable. Yes. But you see the other kinds of investments, like the bettings in the sports, you lose totally. Now let's come to the gains in this in the stock market. The stock market, the average gain can range from 10% and can go even to double the money. You can even double your money.
Yeah.
For instance, just the other day, Safaricom to become a shareholder for Safaricom, let's say it's 20, let's say today is 28 shillings. Yeah. So you only need 2,800. Let's say with 3,000, you become a shareholder of Safaricom. Yeah. Safaricom, and it's one of the best performing shares in the stock market for a long period. In fact, for the last like 7 years, it has been one of the top performers in the stock market. If you check the stock market, you will notice that share of Safaricom has been trending between 32 shillings, it comes to 26, goes back to 28, comes back to 27. What does that show is that you can make money during that period. There are people who make money on it even daily. Because you can trade on daily basis. But now, coming back to your initial question is, how much do you need? You don't need so much. With 1,000 bob, you can come to the stock market. So what some of the people think is that you need lots of money. Yeah, because I mean, anyone you associate with the stock exchange, you think is very fabulously wealthy. You need to be a Bob Karina. You need to be a Chris Kirubi. And that really, because you know there's a gap between you and them economically. So then that basically dims all hopes and for a lot of Kenyans. You know, so what we say is a long journey starts with one step. I want to go to Mombasa. You don't want a Concorde to take you straight to Mombasa. But you start your journey slowly. How do you start your journey slowly? By investing the little you have on monthly basis. What we advise people is commit a certain amount of money from your income and put it towards the stock market. Then every time you have money, you still add to it. You'll build up wealth that way. If you talk to many of these people, other than the extreme ones, many of the people who have made money in the stock market, they started slowly and build up slowly. Just like building a house starts from the foundation, the walls, before you get to the interior and the other things. You start building slowly, and in the process, you'll get there. So if you say you'll commit, let's say, 1,000 bob every month, by the end of the year, you have 12,000. The people with more money commit 10,000. The people with much more commit 100,000 every month. And then you build up. Don't look for 1 million today. No, you build up and build up your investment until you get there. Then the stock market does not deal only with shares. We have what you call bonds. The government came up with a bond called Emakiba. I remember even promoting that one on my radio show. Wow, good. And it just made so much sense. And I must admit, I pull a lot of money there. But I'm so happy. Because you earn, you earn 10%. Guaranteed 10%. And it is one of the bonds that you don't pay tax on it. And it's tax free. So if you put 100,000 there, you are guaranteed of 10,000 by the end of the year. And every 6 months, you get 5,000. You get 5,000. And then when it's all over, you get your principal and your last interest. So there are those products which people do not know, and that is one of the products which we advertise through mass media and search forums to let people know, but people still have not gotten to know that it is there. And it's a product which comes regularly. Right now there is none selling, but soon enough government is going to bring. I think I've promoted like 3 of them. There's one coming soon. Please, our youth and the rest, you only need minimum 3,000. You can buy as much as you want or as your pocket can afford, but all you need is 3,000 shillings. With the 3,000 shillings, you're guaranteed of getting 10% on that investment. Then that is what we call Emakiba. There is another one called treasury bills. Treasury bills, you require a lot more. But before let me do the bond, the treasury bond. The treasury bond, you only need 50,000. 50,000, you earn interest depending on the length, because the difference between treasury bills and treasury bonds is the length of time. Anything up to 364 days, which is 1 year, they call them bills, treasury bills, and they are of 3 months, 6 months, and 1 year. When it hits 1 year, going onwards, it's called a treasury bond. Now the bond, you require minimum 50,000, and it earns interest varied from about 11% to 13%, depending on the one being sold at that particular time. And then they pay you interest every every 6 months.
Biannually.
Biannually.
Yeah.
And depending if it's a 1 year, then after the end of the year you get your money. If it's a 5 year, you can you'll be earning until the 5 years. The best part of it is that you can get out anytime you want. You can buy in May and sell by the end of May, because it is tradable.
Yes.
But now what happens is this: the government collects money by selling the bond. It uses that money to do various things that it wants with that money. So when you want to get out, maybe you wanted to buy for 5 years, but you have hit some need of your money.
Because those needs come.
Yes.
Let's be honest. Sometimes you need chopper urgently.
Yeah, immediately. Yeah. You don't go back to the government who you gave the money. You come to the stock brokers and the investment banks to trade your bond. So you come to us, we trade your bond, and then you get your money. The person who buys from then on continues to earn the interest until the maturity of that bond.
Okay.
But the bill, it is a short-term product.
Yeah.
You can still get out of it, but that one you are penalized.
Yeah.
You are penalized in the sense that the government wants to borrow the money for 6 months. And maybe after 2 months, you want your money. If you want your money, you have to pay
a
the
penalty
government
for coming out.
Early. Exactly. Because it's committing for a shorter period. That one does not allow. So what happens with Treasury bill is that if it is trading, let's say like 8%, you pay less the interest by the time you buy.
Okay.
Let's say you're buying 100,000. The 100,000, the interest is 8%.
Yeah.
So you'll pay, if it's for 1 year, you'll pay 92,000.
Yes.
Meaning you keep your interest, but when the time is over, the maturity, you get your 100,000.
Yeah.
So meaning you got your money earlier.
Yes.
So that's the difference. But the bond, you get paid in arrears.
Okay. I think that's a very interesting point of view. With 3,000 shillings, you can get started on a government bond. And that income is absolutely tax-free. That's the most amazing thing about this entire journey. Now, there are certain things you need. For example, I want to open an account with, say, a FIDA Securities or FIDA Investment Bank. What is the journey from me standing outside on the street with my 10,000 shillings in the pocket? How do I now go about becoming a trader on the stock exchange?
Very good question, and I think maybe I should have started there, but thank you.
No, it's okay.
But let me say, for you to be an investor in the stock market, you must have an account.
Okay.
This account, we call it CDS account.
Yeah.
CDS stands for Central Depository System account. Everybody needs that account. To get that account, it's free of charge. But let me tell the viewers that FIDA Investment Bank has a new app.
Okay.
The new app is called FIDA M Trader.
Okay.
This app allows you to open an account virtually, remotely, online.
Wow.
And you will be able to trade. It will give you functions like portfolio evaluation.
Yeah.
You'll get information on research and many other available functions within the M Trader, the FIDA M Trader. We are one of the very few who have that application where you don't need to leave your house, especially during this COVID time now.
Yeah.
All you need is write to us through info@FIB. FIB standing for FIDA Investment Bank.co.ke. Info@FIB.co.ke, and we make you assign you to your account, and from then on, still remotely. You don't need to come to our office.
I have not met anyone who works for FIDA Investment personally yet.
Yes.
But I've already got my CDS account.
Wow, you see?
Yeah.
You get your CDS account, you start trading.
Yeah.
You'll be sending money through M-Pesa.
Yeah.
You can send money through PesaLink.
Yeah.
And you start trading. You don't need even to come and see us.
Yeah.
So everything will be done remotely through FIDA M Trader.
Yeah.
And then you start trading the much we are talking about, the 3,000, the 1,000, all that you need from the comfort of your home.
Yeah.
Or wherever you are. And we are able to do this for anybody wherever they are in the world.
Wow.
And then, fortunately, we've been able to have some MOUs with the regional brokers.
Yeah.
We have contact of foreign brokers in Europe, in the US, and therefore we can get you to buy anything you want, even outside Kenya.
Ah.
So through that system,
Yeah.
now it's fortunate that we came with it before the COVID, but now it will serve the purpose for those people who can't come to our offices.
Exactly.
Yeah, because before you had to come physically to our offices, open the account, you sign. Now all those things we are doing remotely, using now the same way you have seen Safaricom or even that Makiba bond. You don't need to, it's done through M-Pesa.
True.
It's done through the phone.
It is.
The issue of now physical coming into the offices is going to go.
So let me ask you a question. I have invested my 10,000 bob. I would like to buy other stocks and shares. Who do I talk to? Or are they all listed in the app?
Let's say this. In the stock market, the brokers, the investment bank, they have research analysts.
Okay.
And I remember in the olden days, but let me start. There is something maybe we should also say, that we have noticed that there are very old people still investing, but we would like the youth to come in. People have been afraid. People have been afraid to come into the market. We have never realized that. Maybe it's a survey that we'll need to do, because most of the active traders are 35 to 50 years. So we'd like more youth to come to the market.
True.
So I lost you. You were saying?
Yeah, we're talking about you being able to trade other shares. For example, maybe I came in because I saw Safaricom shares doing very well. So I come in through there.
And how do you get it?
Then I now want to be an active investor.
So how do you get? So that's why I was saying that we have research analysts whose work is nothing but to analyze every company. Okay, there are people who buy shares because Maina is buying them.
Yes.
There are people who buy shares because maybe an uncle, a friend is buying. We tell you, yes, they could be doing the right thing. But before you get into any share, find out about that company. For instance, the airlines now, they have all been grounded.
The airlines.
They have all been grounded. The tourism industry, most of them are grounded. People are not traveling. So hotels are not being used. So whether you like it or not, those industries' income will definitely go down. So before you come and tell me, I want to buy shares of Emirates, for instance.
Or Hilton.
I'll tell you, please, instead of buying to this one, why don't you buy to this other? Let's buy a bank share, because banks are still making money. Let's buy Safaricom or something like that. So our work as financial advisors is to tell you, if you ask a question, that this is what I need, you need to buy at this particular time. Because every time of the year, all the month, there are some good shares to buy at that particular time, or there are some shares which you need to wait.
Which are where they are because of circumstances that they're not in control of.
So we would advise them, ask the question as to where, should I buy this share or shouldn't I buy this share? Or which share should we buy? Because we recommend weekly on the shares to buy. We have a weekly report,
a market report,
a market report on weekly basis that gives you report on the information we have had recently or currently about a certain company and their performance. And we also advise, this share you can sell. It is not going to do well for a while, so please get out. The others, we are telling you, this is the time to accumulate.
Buy this one.
And finally, let me say, during this COVID time, there are many good shares that whose price have come down, and this is the right time to take advantage of. So we will tell you now, please, these shares, the fundamentals are great, and therefore this one is not going to go bad. So COVID or no COVID, this one will perform. Just invest here. So you need to use our services to ensure that we advise you accordingly as to where to get in, when, and then we'll take you through how.
Okay. And the good thing is with your market analysts is then that stops me from the guesswork of trying to just wonder which share should I buy just for the sake of buying it.
Exactly. Another thing is this. Once you have invested in those shares, don't just keep quiet and hope things are working. Make sure you monitor how the share is doing. So, just like they say, you have planted maize. You don't wait until harvest. You need to weed them. You need to weed, check, are the birds eating, locusts coming, such like things. So once you invest, let's say you have invested in Safaricom, make sure you check on daily or weekly basis. I bought this share at 28 shillings.
Yes.
It is currently at 27.
Yeah.
Call the stockbroker or the investment bank advisor you spoke to.
Yeah.
Not even call, write them an email. I bought Safaricom at 28 shillings. It is, I just noticed this at 26. Should I sell?
Yeah.
Meaning, individually, you put what is called stop loss benchmarks.
Yeah.
That if my share drops by 10%, it should raise a red flag.
Yeah.
Call your investor or write to them through email and ask them, should I get out or what do you do? More than not, if it's a good share, they'll tell you, this is like a hiccup.
Yeah.
Just wait, it will be okay. And then
because those things do happen.
They happen, but coming down a little bit does not mean it's a bad share.
Yeah.
Then it has gone up by 2 shillings. Let's say it was 28, now it's 30. Should I sell? They tell, no, wait, it's still going to go up again.
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to say, those questions you ask your advisors are not charged.
Yeah.
But it makes a lot of sense. First, you get to learn about the market, and also it tells you when to get in, to get out, or to wait.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So I've got that's so much help you're giving people. So I don't have to be a genius at trying to read the market.
No, you don't need to. We'll do it for you.
Yeah.
But what you do is to just observe, is like you're looking at something.
Yeah.
What is happening? Is this okay? Those are the questions we want you to check.
Yeah.
There are people who buy and forget. If that's what you want, because there are people who also buy shares for just earning dividend.
Yeah.
And they will not buy a company that is not paying dividends.
Yeah.
So those ones, they buy, they forget, they just wait for the end of the year, they get their
collect
dividend,
their money.
the share is still there.
Yeah.
Especially the older people, that's what they used to do. They just buy and keep for future to give to their children.
Yes.
But there are other people who would like to make money regularly. You buy this share, it's not performing, sell it, buy this other one. Because you can sell a share that is going bad and buy another one, and actually covers what you had lost.
Yeah, the gains cover that small loss.
The gains that you had.
So it makes you win at the end of the day.
Exactly. And also, the same share you had bought, maybe you forget to check about it. Let's say Safaricom you bought at 28, and the time you check now, it is at 25. Now you panic. So if you come to me, I'll tell you, Safaricom, the plans they have and the business model they have, this is just nothing.
Yeah.
Just buy some more. So what happens, you buy now again more of Safaricom at 25 shillings to average your cost.
Yes.
So if you had bought 10,000 shares, you buy another 10,000, so your average, instead of being 28 and this you have bought at 25, comes to about 26.50.
Yes.
You see? So if that share goes to 29 or 28, you are making money.
Grand gain.
Exactly, you're still making money.
And it's interesting you talked about Safaricom, because when they first floated their shares, we all bought those shares.
And there were 5
Everyone bought Safaricom shares. I was there, mstari wa kwanza. Then the price dipped
to 3 shillings.
To 3 bob.
Yeah.
Aki, I felt like I could die.
Many people got out then.
They got out then, but I didn't.
Okay.
Me was told, hang in there.
Yeah, and you did.
This company is going to become the biggest company in Eastern Central Africa. But there was no way
you could have told exactly that time.
It wasn't for the person who was telling me that.
Just hold on. Yeah.
And that's the best decision I've ever made.
Yeah, imagine. It has done so well.
When it got to the 3 bob, 4 bob, everyone was selling.
Yeah. And many people who were looking at long term bought Safaricom then. And it has made them, and you know, it pays dividends every year.
Every single year.
So your money has already been paid back. Yeah. And now this is now profits that you're keeping.
Exactly.
Yeah. And it's been doing very well. We are very proud of what has been going on.
Yeah.
The programs they have, the many products they have.
Yeah.
Because things that, you know, it started as voice.
Yes.
From voice, then it went to data and the like. Many other products they have started, the M-Pesas and the like.
Yes. And
those are now making more money, I think, even than the other.
They are.
Yeah, the
That's
other
true.
products.
So but 1,000 bob is all you need to get started. And let me tell you, it is when you see so many wealthy people all going after one thing, you know there's something there. And that's called the Nairobi Securities Exchange. Please take advantage. With this gentleman, you'll be able to also access the Rwandan Stock Exchange.
Yeah, anytime.
Anytime. So just get the Faida Securities.
Info at FIB.
Yeah, info at FIB.
We'll send you how to open up your account as on Faida M-Trader.
Yeah.
The app is there. And then if you need any assistance, just write to us. info@fib.co.ke. We'll take it over from there, and from then on you'll be on your own, but still We are available for any questions that you might have or any advice that you want,
may require.
And it's free. We don't charge. So people should not be afraid. It's you to write often and ask questions.
Yeah.
We'll also assign someone to you who will be the one to...
The person to liaise with you.
Yeah.
Sindio. So, and I think that's a great opportunity. It's a new field. It can make you a lot of money. They already assign an analyst to you. So you're doing very little thinking, but the money you can make is incredible. And it's been a great journey. For me, it has. And for you, I'm sure it will. If you've got 1,000 bob, 1,000 bob, 5,000 bob, 10,000 bob, any money you can put aside in a month, put it in the NSC. Because it's a whole new way of trading. You don't get your hands dirty. You get free professional advice. At the kind of investment you're looking for, it's crazy. And when you see a government bond in the future, when you see like a Makiba coming up again, please grab that opportunity. With a guaranteed return of 10%, which is absolutely tax-free, that is a great opportunity. So let's open our eyes as Kenyans, and especially as young Kenyans. Get in touch with Faida. Get more information. Be inquisitive. Ask. And before you know it, in a couple of years, that could be the best decision you ever made. What's the website again, please?
It's info@fib.co.ke. info@fib.co.ke. FIB stands for Faida Investment Bank.
Yeah. So get all the information you need. Mr. Karina has got such a beautiful home, and it came from there. It came from there. It's incredible. And I've known Mr. Karina for so long. If I had listened to him from back then, I'd probably be having a digs like this.
No, you're doing well, Maina. I mean...
But please don't miss this opportunity. Info@fib.co.ke. Please get all the info. It's an alternative way of investing. 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, 10,000. Money that we go raving with and we spend on drinks on a Friday. That money, if you started utilizing it 3 years ago, would be a huge amount of money by now.
And you commit it monthly.
Yeah.
You know, you
it's
say 1,000 every month.
Exactly. It's just a way for your savings account. You say, I need to put aside 20,000 a month. Or the school fees coming in 3 months' time, let me start saving for it. You must create something. They don't have to be a lot. But Kenyans, it's a good new opportunity for you, and especially if you're amongst the youth, because you need to now bring these young people into the stock exchange to really take things to another level. So please make sure you do it. Bob, thank you so much for your time.
You're most welcome.
That has been so eye-opening. It's been so refreshing. And I'm lucky and I'm happy I'm already part of the journey.
Yeah.
So please jump on board and let's enjoy this crazy journey together. But thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much, Bob, Karina.
You're most welcome.
And all the best in Rwanda. Rwanda is going to blow up, eh?
They are doing very well. It's from the time I've been there since 2007. I go there every quarter because of attending the board meetings.
Yeah.
And the transformation Kagame has made into that
it's incredible,
country.
Yeah.
I can vote him in anytime, irrespective of what other local politics they are.
Yeah.
The work he's done, you know, they say action speaks louder than
the
words.
Yeah.
That man has done wonders. And I've seen him bring down shanties and bringing now new structures.
Yeah.
That town, Kigali, is a totally different town.
Completely.
Very clean, you can't drop any paper on the ground. People sweep that town clean.
Citizens.
Themselves, even everyone, they close their work, their offices once a month on the last Saturday of the month. They sweep.
Yeah.
So nobody can drop anything on the ground. It's the cleanest city I've been to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I know Rwanda is going to be big.
Oh yeah, it's growing
I'll
well.
need some direction on Rwanda from you. So we'll have that conversation later. So if you can get into Rwanda now, you'll be almost like a founder. And as it's really exploiting its potential as a strong, rich, financially stable nation, you reap the rewards. So I'm all about young Kenyans getting onto the stock exchange because, man, I know we all love our hustle and we can all sell our bandanas and our tops and our shoes. But there's only so many who can do that before you just overfill the market. And then what? As a young Kenyan, please take advantage of the Nairobi Stock Exchange. get all the advice you can, listen to people, put some money in there. You're building slowly. You're never ever gonna get enough money to build a house with 8 bedrooms, but you can start off slowly with the Nairobi Stock Exchange. So please send that email, info@fib.co.ke. Get all the info you need. You're open to Kenya, Rwanda, and any other stock exchange in the world. From the comfort of your home, you don't even do anything. So I hope you enjoyed, and I hope this session has helped you understand these opportunities that are bringing themselves to you. And I hope you can make the first move. And I hope we can touch base in 1 quarter or 2 quarters time, and we exchange notes on how we are all doing. And that's the way we build our wealth over time. And you'll be stable before you know it. And that is the reason why a lot of our parents seemed to make a lot of money when they were our age, and we're here wondering, why aren't I making that kind of money? Because they had access to this kind of information. So thanks a lot, Bob, Karina. Thanks for having me in your beautiful home. I shall see you on Monday, as usual, 2 p.m. on Maina Kageni Live on Facebook. But until then, info@fib.co.ke. Let's get moving. And make sure you get your YouTube bundle, *544*33#. So I'll see you Monday. Don't forget to subscribe here. Hit that button, subscribe, and I'll see you Monday. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Thank you.
Fantastic.